It's been a wonderful night so far, and I'm really grateful to be here tonight. I want to wish a mazel tov to the Clarita family as they celebrate the bar mitzvah of Henry, who has waited for this day for 13 years, I guess, right? So before we begin with Shalom Aleichem, of course, is a formal greeting. That's what we do on Shabbos. We greet each other. Greetings really make a difference. So turn to your neighbor, wish him a good Shabbos. Turn to the person behind you. Wave to the person across the room. For those who are joining us online, Shabbat Shalom to you. Wave to us. We can actually see you, or there are people waving to you. We welcome you all. And no better way to begin our service then when, of course, Shalom Aleichem, which can be found on page 5. Today we are joining with our cantor Ray Cohen, who will be leading us in our services, again on page 5.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharei, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bochem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We turn our attention to page 23 for Lecha Dodi. And Lecha Dodi, of course, is a prayer in which we welcome in the Sabbath bride. If you look on page 23 on the left, at the top it says, "Come, my beloved, to welcome the bride. Let us greet Shabbat as she arrives." This was the time in which the Jewish people, at every time in our history, there was one point in the week in which we were all kings and queens. And we would set a table and celebrate the Holy Sabbath together. And that, the second verse there, you'll see it says, observe and remember. And we're all familiar with the word being Shomer Shabbos, that you observe the Shabbos. Everyone has heard that. Yes, Shomer Shabbos. But it is Shamor V'Zachor, that one should also remember the Sabbath. That we should be Zochei Shabbos. That we should be those who remember. And what does that mean? We remember those around us and we are welcoming to them. We remember those who are not with us this evening and we pray for the moment in which we can be together again. We also remember those in our lives in which we offer prayers of healing and love and kindness. And we also remember how grateful we are that we have a chance to sit together, maybe just for an hour, and share a little bit of spirituality. Too often we're going from here to there haphazardly and not truly realizing the importance of the moments. How many of us drove here tonight and weren't really conscious of the drive over here? We just ended up here. What's really important is that we remember that every moment is precious. Every moment is an opportunity to share with our loved ones. Turn to your loved one if you're with someone. Squeeze their hand. Be careful if you're not near a loved one. Don't squeeze their hand. That can be a little awkward. But we share love tonight, we share the opportunity, and we remember and we guard this holy, holy day. Join me on page 23 for Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, lecha dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad. Ishmi'anu el ha'meuchad. Adonai echad. U'shemo echad. L'shem u'tiferet v'litila. Lecha dodi. Lecha dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha. Ki himakor habracha. Meherosh mikedem nesucha. Sof ma'aseh b'machshavatila. Lecha dodi, lecha dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, ki va'arek miori. Uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai alai nila. Lecha dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nekabela.
We rise on page 25 and turn to the entrance for the welcoming of the Sabbath bride.
Bo'e v'shalom ateret ba'ala, gam b'simcha u'v'sachala, toch emunei am segula, bo'e chala. Lecha dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nekabela.
Please be seated. If we turn to page 27, Mizmor Shir Le'Yom HaShabbat, a wonderful way to look at this, if it says a psalm, the song of the Sabbath day, and a zimmer in the Jewish tradition is a song, and a shir in the Jewish tradition is a song. So if you really look at this and it says Mizmor Shir Le'Yom HaShabbat, it's literally a translation where you could say a song, a different kind of song for the day of Shabbat. And what's really important for us to remember is that we too often get stuck in one way of thinking about how we pray. And so this Mizmor Shir is to say there are many different ways. Your song is different than my song. My song might be different than your song. The way you approach prayer may be different, but aren't we all trying to get to the same place? Let us focus not so much on the intricacies of what we're saying, but in the end result of how we're trying to connect. So we look at the past through the lens of how we can connect. Mizmor Shir Le'Yom HaShabbat. Why don't we sing Mizmor Shir Le'Yom HaShabbat? Tov lehodot l'Adonai, uzamer l'shimcha elyon, uzamer l'shimcha elyon. In your house, beautiful in its holiness, your testimonies endure, God, for all time. We ask those who are mourning or observing your sight this evening to please rise on page 30 for the mourner's Kaddish. Kaddish Yatom again can be found on page 30. Together, Yit Gadal v'Yit Gadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma Divrach Chirutei v'Yamlich Malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael b'agala v'zman kariv v'imru.
Amen.
Yehei Shmei Rabban Barach Leolam Umeomaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal Shemei Dekudsha Brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran b'yoma v'imru.
Amen.
Yehei Shlama Rabba min Shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Osei Shalom ben Romav, Huya Asei Shalom, Aleinu ve'al Kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. We ask that the entire community rise as we begin our service with the Baruch Hu, which can be found on page 39.
Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach, Hamevorach le'olam va'ed. Hamevorach, Hamevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach le'olam va'ed.
Please be seated. We continue with the first blessing before the evening Shema in the middle of page 39.
El Chai v'Kayam Tamidim Locha Leinu Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Hamarim V'Ravim. Amen.
On page 40, Ahavat Olam, with timeless love you have loved your people, the house of Israel. You have taught us your Torah, mitzvot, statutes, and laws.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Avta Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shachmeinu u'b'kumeinu nasiach belkecha ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגד יום ולילה כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגד יום ולילה כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגע יומם ולילה כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגע יומם ולילה ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני Ohev Amo Yisrael. Amen.
Before we recite the Shema, the word negeh, uvahem negeh yomam v'layla, the word negeh is actually the word used for the cooing of a pigeon. So what does that mean? Why is that something that would indicate meditation? Why is it here in the translation it says, for they are our life and the fullness of our days? They're talking about the mitzvot. And on them we shall meditate day and night. This meditate is this cooing, this cuckoo, cuckoo, right? So what is going on in your mind? For many of us, if you think about it, we have created patterns in our mind, haven't we? You return to certain thoughts over and over and over again. You get stuck in a pattern. And here, the Torah is explaining, well, why not try and get stuck in a different pattern, maybe a spiritual pattern? Instead of when you're driving down, I don't know, the 405, where it changes into the 5 at 4 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. We all have patterns in our mind at that moment, don't we? And maybe taking a moment and trying to shift it in that moment. That is what the Torah is asking us to do. Just a little shift. And sometimes it's just a little shift of perspective that can help you have a different way to look at the world. And so that's often what we celebrate for a bar mitzvah. And Henry Lopreet is celebrating his bar mitzvah this evening and, of course, tomorrow when he reads from the Torah. But it is about changing some of the patterns. That's what it means to become an adult, to become mature, is recognizing that those thoughts and brain patterns and the way in which we engage with the world needs to maybe change a little bit. And so one of the big changes that a bar mitzvah makes or a bat mitzvah makes in our synagogue is that the student will lead us in parts of the service. And so I am happy and proud and excited to invite Henry Lopreet up as he leads us in the Shema as a bar mitzvah. So that's you. Yeah. Come on up, stand in the middle, and he'll lead us in the Shema and the Ve'ahavta, which can be found on page 41.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Ve'ahavta
et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavcha, u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol me'otecha, v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi mitzavecha, hayom alevavecha, v'shinatam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shiftecha b'beitecha, u'lechtecha b'derech, u'shochbecha u'bekumecha, u'kshatam leot al yadecha, v'hayilu totofot bein einecha, u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, u'visharecha.
Please continue silently on page 42, and we will join together with Lamanti Skuru at the bottom. And the Lord said on the seventh day that we shall all turn off our cell phones. Please join us at the bottom of page 42 with Lamanti Skuru.
Only because that wasn't the right melody.
Right.
So, Lema'an tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim le'Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hoseti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim li'olachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Amen.
Please join us on page 44.
Umalchut Tov Ratzon Kiblo Aleichem, Moshe B'nei Yisrael Lechanu Shira, B'simcha Rabba V'yomru Chulam, Mi Chamocha Ba'elim Adonai, Mi Chamocha Nedar B'Kodesh, Nohra Tehilot, Osei Feleh, Malchut Chara Uvanecha, Bokei Hayam Livnei Moshe, Zeli Anu Ve'amru, Adonai Yimloch Leolam Va'ed, V'ne'emar Ki Farach Adonai et Yaakov, Ugalo Miad Hazak Mimenu, Baruch Atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael. Amen.
On page 45, the second bracha after the Shema, we take a moment to reflect on the past day. What have we done well? What could we have done better? What are we asking at this moment in our day so that we can get a good night's sleep and be prepared for tomorrow?
Ufros aleinu Sukkot, Sukkot, Shlomecha, Yailai, lai, lai, Yailai, lai, lai, Yailai, lai, 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 Yailai, lai, lai, Yailai,
That's good.
lai, lai, Yailai, lai, 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 lai. Baruch atah, atah Adonai, haporei Sukkot, Shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Baruch atah, atah Adonai, haporei Sukkot, shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael.
We rise on page 46 for Vishamru.
Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Ubayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. יתגדל ויקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
ועמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון וחיי דכל בית ישראל. בגלה, בגלה, ובזמן קריב יאמרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ולעולם היה. יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה, ויתהלל. Shemei Kedusha Berichu Leila Min Kol Birchata V'Shirata Tushbechata V'Nechemata Damiran Be'alma V'Meru. Amen.
On page 47 is Tefillat Amidah La'arvit L'Shabbat, the Friday night Amidah, which is said silently from page 47 to page 52. When you have completed your prayers, please be seated.
Adonai Sefatai Tiftach Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha. Tasim leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha. Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha. Tasim leolam. V'tov ve'enecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol eit u'b'chol sha'a b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha. Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam.
Middle of page 54.
Yikadav Yikad Hashem Merabah.
Amen.
Be'amadi Barachi Retevi Amich Malchutei. B'chayechon of Yom Echon of Chayedechol Beit Yisrael. Bagalav Izman Kariv Be'imeru.
Amen.
Yehesh Merabah Mevorach. Le'olam le'omei amaya.
Yitbarach.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudusha b'richu le'la min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma ve'imeru
Amen.
tikabel sloton v'otahon dechol Yisrael kodam avahon dev'ishmaya ve'imeru
Amen.
Yahei Shalom Arav Amin Shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru
Amen.
Say Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh Shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru. Amen.
On page 55, Kiddush Leleil Shabbat, the Kiddush for Sabbath evening. I'd like to invite Henry up to lead us in the bracha. Thank you. Please rise. Baruch
Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam,
borei
peri hagafen.
Baruch Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron v'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila l'mikra'ei kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'charta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, ve'shabbat kodshecha, ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat. L'chaim, l'chaim. It's good. It's good. There's not alcohol in that. Don't worry. Please be seated.
Wait, what?
Oh, I handed it to him.
There
It's
wasn't
okay.
mine.
Oh. Okay, have a seat. We ask it this time for prayers of healing, Amisha Berach, we ask if you are offering prayers for Amisha Berach that you rise at your seat at this moment, and we offer those names at this time. And tonight we offer prayers for others.
Misha Berach Avotenu Makor HaBracha Limotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Makor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
May God send a speedy recovery, refuah shlema, refuah nefesh, refuah taguf, a complete healing of mind and body, and let us all say,
Amen.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Everyone's on social media, yes? Is there anyone that's not? Oh, yeah, Ken, I would imagine, yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. No, he's not, is he? So watch this. Who is on social media, right? It's an interesting thing. The world has changed. And so the question is how do we ultimately reach out to other people? The world is different now. And one successful way, if you're interested in getting more, someone's notification just went off that they just got something. That sounded more like Instagram, but you can. But one successful way to increase your viewership on social media is a little trick. You approach somebody on the street and you ask them a question. And how they respond, and you get a nice little TV show, so to speak. There's countless trends like this on social media that follow this pattern. There's one such variation in which a person goes up to someone in a high-end car, okay, and you ask them what they do for a living. The idea is to get a glimpse into what people do for a living that would allow them to possess such a beautiful car. The idea is if you do what they did or whatever they did, you'd get success. Very clear. And as with all social media, once the idea has lost its currency, it becomes almost staged. This is where it becomes a little fake. And it morphs into something else for more authenticity. One way this trend developed, and there are dozens of creators doing this now, is to ask someone, quite frankly, what is it that you do for a living? What do you do for a living? Do you like it? How much do you make? How long have you been doing this? And I guarantee you these videos generate a lot of views, a lot of likes, a lot of followers, or whatever else someone wants to get by doing such actions. But as with all trends, this will have its short life and we'll move on to the next. But it's very interesting content. Go check it out if you want. But this social media trend isn't really a trend at all. These questions are asked all the time. What do you do for a living? How much do you make? Do you like your job? Isn't it true that these are most often the primary questions we ask anyone that we meet for the first time? In this manner, what are we trying to do? We place the other person in our own experience. We're trying to help them fit into our own worldview. When we find out you're a school teacher, our next question may be, what grade? So you can fit into my worldview. A lawyer, what kind of law? So you can fit into my worldview. A stay-at-home parent, how many kids? So you can fit into how I've deemed it to be. And a rabbi, the question always is, where's your congregation? And I always say it's in Santa Clarita. It's the best congregation in the entire world. And frankly, we all have assumptions on the income range of that profession, really. I say school teacher, you have something in your mind. I say lawyer, you have something in your mind. I need not say anything else. And with modernity, there is an increased expectation to love what you do, isn't there? Do you like what you do? No, I love it. I think I heard you say it, right? Yeah. And if you don't, it's almost assumed you will find something that you love, or at least the expectation is that you're on the road to pursue that passion. And through these questions, and certainly the answers and often assumptions, we learn about each other, don't we? This Torah portion this week reminds us of an alternative approach to the world in which we live. At the heart of this week's Torah portion, Bahar, and please join us tomorrow as Henry gives his talk and his perspective of this, because isn't this what it means to be Jewish, to engage in Torah and allow it to speak to you and bring out of you learning and understanding? So join us tomorrow at 9:30, 9:45, whatever you get here. But Bahar has a visionary concept of returning to the land and returning the land to its original owner at the end of a 50-year cycle. This is called the Jubilee year, a sabbatical year. This prevents the polarization of society into two classes, one wealthy and powerful and owning land, opposite a poor and dependent population. The Torah tries to get rid of that. We could maybe learn a little bit today from this, yes. In an agrarian society, a farmer who sold property to pay debts had no chance of being anything but a servant. Really, there's no prospect for this person to get out from under the debt. So the Torah addressed this with the Jubilee year, where people could reclaim the land they had originally had. Spiritually speaking, all earth, at least as we should understand it according to the Torah, all earth belongs to who? God, not you. All wealth belongs to who? God, not you. And no human, and I would argue that this is more important, no human should ever be condemned to permanent servitude. We are not slaves. We once were in Egypt, but today we are free people. In other words, we should not look, and this is really important, we should not look at the value of human life through the lens of their economic worth. The Jubilee and the Sabbath, for that matter, brings to the forefront the value of life in spiritual terms. Economics are important, certainly. However, they are put on hold once a week, aren't they? On Shabbat. You don't ask those questions on Shabbat. How much do you make? What do you do for a living? Shabbat is a pause in that. And certainly the Jubilee year is as well. In fact, the Jubilee year levels that. that we all earn the same, that we all are people before economics. Now, we all know that the economy is vital for society, yet it ought not define us as a society, and certainly it shouldn't define us as individuals. Our spiritual life defines us as human beings. How we view the world defines us as human beings. How do we express love and joy? And how do we process fear and pain? Fundamentally, what is expected of you as a person? What, if any, is the purpose of your life? This week, I suggest, when you meet somebody new, and I hope you all go out, meet somebody, stick out your hand, introduce yourself to somebody new. That's how you stay alive, yes? That's how you get people to come into a community. That's how you get more people in this room. That's how you create more life. So when you meet somebody new this week, ask them about their spiritual practices. Ask them not how much you make, but ask them how do they develop spiritually. Don't ask them how far they are until retirement, but ask them about their most important relationships in their life. Don't ask somebody when you're out and meeting them for the first time, do they love what they do, but inquire about their inner thought life. Ask them what are your most significant values in life. And I will say this, inasmuch as we are comfortable about asking about other people's economics lives, we should be as comfortable asking about their spiritual life. And that contrast, inasmuch as you are unable to have that conversation with a stranger, tells us everything we need to know about our society. The contrast reveals our need for a new trend to getting interest in the whole of a human being, not just the part in which we can easily put into categories. I wish us all a Shabbat Shalom. And may we try and twist just a little bit to experience something new. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We now continue with the counting. You want to do something else? We're going to do, yeah. But before we do birthdays and anniversaries, and I know we have birthdays and anniversaries tonight, actual people in the room that are going to get candy. Can't you wait until it's your turn to get candy? Nobody fake that it's their birthday or anniversary. Okay? Unless it's you, Danny, of course. Okay. We have a very special thing tonight on page 63. We do say the bracha for the counting of the Omer, Sfirat Omer, and tonight is the 35th evening of the Omer. So we say the bracha together on page 63. Together, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al Sfirat HaOmer. And we turn to page 68 at the bottom of the page where it says Hayom Chamisha Ushloshim Yom Shehem Chamisha Shvuot LaOmer. Today is 35 days, 5 weeks of the Omer, and we all say Amen. And with this great celebration, I would like to invite those who are celebrating a birthday to join us up on the bima as we celebrate your birthday by asking you your actual date. And if you want to share how many wonderful years you've...
And what you do for a living.
And what you do for a living, how much you make.
How could you afford the car you're driving?
Can you afford your car? Said the accountant, you can't afford that car, right? Wonderful. Don't be shy. All right, let's start. Oh, you want to start, Yael?
Sure.
Who are you? Your birth date, and maybe if you want your age.
Yael. Birthday's on May 30th.
Happy birthday.
Coming up Memorial Day.
I'm Esther. My birthday's on the 29th.
Yeah, birthday buddies.
I'm Sonia North. My birthday is May 21st.
Oh, you're okay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Yom Huledet
Sameach.
Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach.
Yom Huledet Sameach. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah bless each and every one of you on this day who has ascended today to honor God, our Torah, and this holy Sabbath, and to thank God for the blessings that God has bestowed on you from this day of your birth until today. And may God protect you from all disease and illness and bless you with a long life filled with good health and love. Amen. Amen. And may God send blessing and success in all of your endeavors. And let us all say Amen. And we have Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov.
Thank you.
We have candy for our birthday folks. Yeah, take and donate. You can. Yes. Mazel Tov.
Mazel tov.
When's your birthday? Putting it all together. Yeah. Now, where did y'all go? Oh. So we also have anniversaries, and I know Elle and Mark are celebrating an anniversary. Any other anniversary?
Allie and Chris.
Oh, please. Amazing.
Another anniversary.
A busy week.
I know, right?
Cabo. We should have done the bar mitzvah in Cabo.
That's right.
So we'll start with you guys. Say who you are and how long you've been together, or how long you've been married, or your anniversary date, or whatever you would like to share. But not too long. I mean, you don't have to.
Yael, Mark?
She's still
Again.
Yael, and I'm
Still
Mark,
Mark.
and our anniversary is on her birthday, the 30th of May.
Oh.
Just a
Oh.
coincidence.
It'll be our 12th anniversary.
So there's a story there about her birthday that year. So ask them afterwards at our Oneg. Interesting enough, our Oneg has been sponsored tonight by the Lopreet family, who are celebrating an anniversary this month.
We are. Our anniversary is May 25th. Will be 20 years.
Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah bless each and every one of you who are here today with gratitude for all the blessing that these years together have given and afforded you. May God protect you and deliver you, and may you continue to enjoy God's blessing and enjoy each other. I know it's a well, maybe, right? Some days better more than others. Okay. May you always live in joy and gladness, in peace and companionship, and let us all say Amen. Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov. Many, many happy returns on the day. If you want, yes, if you want candy, Robin, I'm sorry.
I already got my share.
These are like full bars.
Yeah, it's the real deal. It's the real deal.
There's no like.
All you have to do is be married for 12 years.
I know, that's all. What?
I think we'll do levels. How many years you make it, you get better candy. Who knows? Mazel Tov to everyone celebrating in the month of May. We now turn our attention to page 56 for Aleinu. Please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula leotzeh breshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ועושה ארץ ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו בגבהי מרומים הוא אלוהינו אין עוד אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו ככתוב בתורתו וידעת היום והשבותה אל לבבך Ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim Vashamayim imhal Ve'al ha'aretz mitachat Einod Al Kena Kavel
Please join us at the bottom of page 57.
Kakatu b'toratecha Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed V'nemar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol ha'aretz Bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad Ushemo echad.
Those who are mourning or observing Yortzeit remain standing for the Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish, which can be found on page 58. In love, we remember those who no longer walk this earth. We are grateful to God for the gift of their lives, for the joys we shared, and for the cherished memories that never fade. May God grant those who mourn the strength to see beyond their sorrows, sustaining them despite their grief. And may the faith that binds us to our loved ones be a continued source of comfort. In this week's yard sites, Philip Berman, father of Dory Berman, Marshall Burse, brother of Larry Burse, David Kay, father of Ari Kosmal, Arnold Klein, father of Betsy Klein, Shirley Coman, aunt of Jeff Coman, Rebecca Maya, grandmother of Danny Maya, Millie Schulman, mother of Karen Jacobs, Barbara Simon, mother of David Simon, Erin Verity, grandmother of Anna Kumar, Mildred Wolf, mother of Susan Codell. And of course, we're in the Shloshim of Esther Weissman, grandmother of Robin McCloy, and Shirley Cohn, mother of Harry and Fred Cohn. Again, the Mourner's Kaddish can be found on page 58. Yitgadal v'yikadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divra chirutei ve'amlich malchutei, B'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael, Bagala uvizman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbam v'rach le'olam u'me'omaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal Shmei dekudsha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiram be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Osei shalom ben Romav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. May the one who creates harmony and peace in the heights grant harmony and peace to us, to all Israel, and all humankind, and let us all say, Amen. Please be seated. At this point, well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. And I would like to invite our congregation Beth Shalom president, Roger Reiner, up for a few announcements. Oh, so we all wish, obviously, Roger has hurt his knee and is in... He's a champion. He heard it volunteering for our community, and we are very grateful to him. So he's going to stay there, so we all make sure that we are safe and not re-injuring anything. So I'd like to invite up our incoming president, Danny Maya, up for a few announcements. Oh, yeah. That's funny.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Rabbi Cantor, great job. Good to see you. First of all, I wanted to thank everybody that came out to our dinner before this. It was great. I wanted to thank everybody that helped put it together. The Sisterhood, Ken, and Roger. Thank you very much. And I also wanted to thank our sponsor for the night, Andy and Fred Grunberg, sponsored the dinner for tonight. So thank you. We have some great upcoming events this week coming up. We have our congregational meeting where the board gets to tell you the business of the temple and go over some very interesting stuff. And I hope to see you all there so we could vote, hopefully not vote me in or vote me in. I'm not sure. If not, we got Roger out of the bullpen. Next Saturday we have, tomorrow we have bar mitzvah. Congratulations. And next week we have the Cooper's bar mitzvah. Join us on Saturday for that bar mitzvah. Reminder that Monday, the office and preschool are closed for Memorial Day. We all are off, hopefully. And then on Friday, June the 3rd, we have our USY Shabbat. Hopefully our young members could come and join us and be part of the USY. Saturday, June 4th, we have Tikkun Leilim Shavuot at Temple Beth Ami, this year at 7 p.m. Sunday, we have a Shavuot service on June the 5th here at 10 a.m. Tuesdays, we have Dining for Dollars at BJ's on the 21st, so join us there. And the big event coming up is our CBS Gala, coming up next month, 26. So please put it on your calendar now so we could enjoy that night all together. We're going to have an amazing time, a lot of drinks, a lot of food, and a lot of fun. So I hope to see you all there for our yearly gala. And we are going to be celebrating, the theme is Increasing our joy. And that's something we could always have not too much of. So thank you very much, and Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you. I'll take it. And thank you, Danny. I wanted to just add two things. Oh, that gives me a heart attack. I'm more worried about our insurance here than that. Yeah, oh, good. We're good. All right. Two things I want to add that are very special happening on Sunday as well. If you know of any Jews in the area that are ages 18 to 35, we are having a Gift of Life registry swiping opportunity so that you can help somebody in need. If you have any direct questions about this, I actually spoke at length about this over the high holidays. It's a very important cause, something very important that we can help a young boy who has a very serious illness. So if you know of somebody or you happen to be 18 to 35 of Jewish descent, please come in from 9 o'clock to noon on Sunday, and we will be able to take your swab and sample. So please get the word out on that. The other thing is on Sunday evening at 7 o'clock, you should have received an email notification about that. If not, we can get the information to you. But we will be having a vigil for the victims of the Buffalo Massacre that just happened just a short while ago. It will be at I'm just blanking on it. Stevens, thank you. St. Stephen's at 7 o'clock. The Jewish faith will be there. Our Christian brothers and sisters will be there, and our Muslim brothers and sisters will be there. In the official capacity, I will be representing the Jewish community along with Roger Reiner. But I am asking that each and every one of you show up to show your support as a member of the Jewish community or the member of the Santa Clarita community, to show the importance of us coming together as a community, that we oppose hate. One of the most frightening parts of these conversations, I've been in a lot of conversations this week about this, is that the saddest part is that we know this will happen again. And it is so important that we as Jews saw this, the same number, 10 Jews were killed, just a few years ago in Pittsburgh. It will happen again. We know that. That's the sad part. But what is most important, I think, is how we respond and react. And we can't, as Jews, just be, or as a synagogue, or as a community, just focused on our own. We need to come together with the larger community, not just to mourn, but to push back at the hate and bigotry and anti-Semitism that is still a part of our world. So please, I ask that you join Roger and I as we represent the Jewish community of Santa Clarita. Join us at 7 o'clock on Sunday evening. But I want to wish you a Shabbat Shalom. Again, thank you for the Lopreets for sponsoring this evening's Oneg. It is a delight, and it is a delight to see you, Henry, up here. We're all very excited. Tomorrow at 9:30. Ooh, yeah, it'll be great. It'll be wonderful. A wonderful thing to increase joy, to increase simcha. We conclude our service on page 211 with Adon Olam.
Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Le'ed Nasa V'Hefza Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nohra Vehu Haya Vehu Hoveh Vehu Yeh B'Tifara Vehu Echad V'Yein Sheni Lehamshilo Lehachbira Beli Reshit Beli Tachlit Velo Ha'oz Ve'hamizra Vehu Eli V'chai Goali V'tzur Chevli V'yetzara Vehu Nisi Umanos Li Menat Kosi Beyom Ekra Beyado Afkid Ruchi Be'eti Shan Be'ahira V'imruchi Geviati Adonai Li Velo Ira. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.